All right, let's jump right in. What if charisma isn't some magical gift you're born with, but a code? Yeah, a code you can actually crack. That's the really provocative idea we're going to deconstruct today, coming from a channel called Cognitive Architect. And their whole philosophy, it's pretty simple, but wow, is it powerful. They're saying that the kind of influence and presence we admire, the stuff we think is just natural talent, it's not. It's actually a system. And the best part? It's a system that anyone can learn. So really, the whole thing boils down to this one question. It completely challenges that old idea that, some people are just born with it, that effortless charm, that magnetic presence. But see, the philosophy here doesn't just stop at asking the question. It's actually proposing a pretty radical answer. Charisma isn't magic. Nope. It's a mechanism. And just like any other mechanism, you can take it apart, figure out how it works, and then you can master it. And right out of the gate, they just go for the jugular, attacking a piece of advice we have all heard a million times. And here's the controversial part. The idea is that for most people, yourself isn't some finished, perfect thing. Not at all. It's more like a jumble of unconscious habits and patterns that have been baked in over years. And a lot of those patterns, they're actually holding you back. So when someone says just be yourself, what you're really doing is just letting all those unhelpful patterns keep running the show. Okay, so if being yourself is bad advice, what's the alternative? Well, they call it true presence. And look, this isn't some fuzzy, vague personality trait. It's a very specific, learnable set of behaviors. Think about it. The people who just command a room, they're not just being themselves. They are actively, and I mean actively, using these hidden behavioral patterns, whether they even know they're doing it or not, to literally shape the reality around them. All right, so how do we even start to learn this code? Well, first things first, we've got to understand the machine it's running on, right? The human mind. And that means we need to dive deep, way below the surface, to the vast, hidden part of our mind that's really pulling the strings, what they call our unconscious blueprint. You've probably heard this before, but it's the perfect analogy. Think of your mind as an iceberg. That part you're actually aware of, your thoughts, your day-to-day decisions, that's just the little tiny tip sticking out of the water. But the real powerhouse, something like 90% of it, is this enormous mass of ice hidden beneath the waves. That is where the real action is. It's where your deepest motivations, your fears, all your core drivers, they all live down there, unconsciously steering your entire life. So what's the whole point of all this? Well, the promise here is nothing short of a radical shift. It's about going from being a puppet, completely controlled by these invisible strings from your unconscious, to becoming the puppet master, the one who actually understands and directs those strings. It's about no longer being a victim of circumstance and instead finally achieving what they call internal alignment. That's when your actions, for maybe the first time, actually line up with what you truly want. And this completely redefines what charisma even is. Seriously, it's not a quality you just have, like having brown hair or blue eyes. No, it's an effect that you actively create inside another person's brain. That's what this fancy term dyadic interaction really means. It always takes two people. Your specific behaviors act as a trigger, setting off a real biological and psychological response in the other person. So get this, you're not just being charismatic, you are doing charisma. Okay, so if charisma is a set of behaviors we can do, then the next logical question is, what are they? What are these behaviors? And that brings us to the really practical part, the Archetypes frameworks. These are the actual tools you can use to, re-architect your own reality. And here we get a little peek inside that toolkit. I mean, just look at these names. They're pretty wild, right? You've got things like gravity pauses, which is all about using strategic silence to build tension and pull people toward you, or the shame hot potato. I love that one. It's a technique for when someone tries to dump blame or shame on you and you just hand it right back. So as you can see, this is a super tactical approach. We're way past just mindset here. This is about concrete actions with your voice, your timing, even diving into deep psychology with archetypes like the warrior and the magician. Now, this isn't just a random grab bag of tricks. It's laid out as a clear 4-stage journey. You start at stage 1, consciously learning the tactical stuff, the vocal skills, the pauses, all of that. Then you move on, learning to tap into these powerful archetypes. But the end goal, the holy grail, is what they call stage 4. That's mastery. And that's the point where you stop even thinking about it. The skills are so baked into your nervous system that they're just you. You're not doing charisma anymore, you simply are it. So when you take all these tools, all these frameworks, and you put them all together, it ultimately leads you to one single fundamental choice. And at this point, it's not really about learning skills anymore. It's about deciding what role you're going to play in the big game of life. Are you going to be a spectator on the sidelines, or are you going to be the architect? Now, this philosophy has a pretty stark, maybe even uncomfortable view of how the world works. It says that social reality is, at its core, a game of status. And here's the kicker. Whether you like it or not, whether you even acknowledge it, you are in the game. You're on the board right now. And the most critical thing to understand is that there's no opting out. Choosing not to play isn't some noble, neutral position. It's just another way to lose. So this really leaves you with a choice between two very different paths. On the one hand, you can be the spectator. Passive, harmless, pretty much content to just watch everything unfold from the sidelines. Or you can be the architect, purposeful, taking all that raw energy and aggression we all have and channeling it into razor-sharp focus, actively shaping your world and mastering the game. And that right there is the core challenge this whole philosophy throws down. This isn't just about learning a few new social tricks. It's about choosing your entire identity. The game of status is always on. The rules are always in effect 24/7. So the only question that's really left is, are you going to be just another piece on the board, moved around by others? Or are you going to be the one who designs the whole damn game?